We're still indeed in the summer break. And as I promised that my Jum'ah khutbah during the summer will be dedicated to address my children, the hope of the Ummah. But allow me today to start the khutbah in an unusual way, because one cannot help it to see what is happening globally to the Muslim Ummah. And we are, and some of us at least, are aware of what is happening in Gaza and the latest decision of the Israeli apartheid regime to invade and occupy the city of Gaza, which have made the leadership of the world, quote unquote, be alarmed, and they become concerned about this attempt from the Israeli government to occupy the city of Gaza in an attempt to continue to push the people in Palestine who have been living in Gaza to furthermore and make it difficult for them, so they will be leaving as they hope, but they will not be able to succeed, and make them flee their own land. As a mental health expert, I'm deeply concerned, and I'm being cynical, extremely cynical in this, about the state of mental health for the leaderships of the world. As they're being too concerned, as they're being alarmed, as their anxiety is being provoked, comes from Gaza that agitate their comfort and make them concerned and increase their anxiety and provoke their stress. I feel sorry for them, the leadership of the world, because they're unable to enjoy the comfort of their life as they're seeing the images of the children of Gaza who have become skeletons, who are dying as a result of malnutrition, as a result of not allowing the aid that is expired on the borders of Gaza from flowing into Gaza to feed these hungry people, as they see those children who are lining up to get aid being bombarded and being killed. These images are disturbing their mental state and makes them so overwhelmed and so anxious. And I can't help but to talk about the sensitive feelings of the President of the United States of America, Mr. Trump, who was very concerned about the starvation of the children of Gaza, and expressed that concern to Netanyahu, who said to him that there is a starvation in Gaza and this needs to stop. And after all, I want the whole world to stop talking about a Holocaust happening in Gaza, because keep repeating that a Holocaust is happening in Gaza, going to provoke the anxiety in the mind of Netanyahu, because he is, after all, coming from Poland with his family to resign in Palestine after occupying the Palestinian land. He did not experience the Holocaust, but he heard a lot about it. And every time someone brings the issue of Holocaust, it provokes his trauma and provokes his anxiety. That makes him always alert and wanted to revenge from these children who have these weapons in their hands as they're lining up to get the food with their empty pots, or they're lining up to get the water with their dirty looking buckets that they have nothing else to collect the water with. These weapons that these children are having are provoking the fear of Netanyahu, who has the biggest arsenal of nuclear power in the Middle East, has the most sophisticated warplanes, has the most advanced army on earth, backed by the superpowers of the earth with no exception. So please do not use these terms in front of this individual, because it provokes his insecurity and makes him so vulnerable and wants to revenge from these children who are lining up to get food. And he will be sending onto them the drones that would kill them and shoot them. And will be sending the missiles and the rockets to kill them in their tents. And would make him feel that I need to finish the existence of the Palestinians in their own land and finish them, whether by rockets or by starvation. And I have to fulfill my plans and dream to make them leave their own land. Forgive me for being so sarcastic, but this is the reality of the world right now. And I feel sorry for the leadership of the Muslim Ummah. After all, it's the summer and they want to enjoy their life, and they're unable to do so when they're seeing the images of what's happening to the children of Gaza. We say to the Muslim leadership, stay in comfort, don't worry. Don't worry, because you're not supposed to be looking after the children of Gaza. Go back to your own comfort, enjoy your life, because Allah the Mighty will be asking you in the day of judgment. Go back to the topic I was intending to talk about today. Last couple of Jum'ah, or last khutbahs I was here, I was talking about the role of youth into changing the environment around them. How they have a lot of potentials, how they have a lot of energy, how they are innovative and creative in their approach, and how they are the hope of the Muslim Ummah, and you, and no one else is able to change the conditions of the Muslim Ummah, and you are the hope that we will be able to change whatever misery we're living in right now. Today, allow me not to address only the boys, but I want to address the sisters, the girls, because we don't seem to pay attention to their contribution to the advancement of the Muslim Ummah. We don't seem to pay attention to their contribution to the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, because for some reason, the cultural invasion and the Western societies and the Western governments always, when they want to interfere with what's happening in the Muslim world, the first thing they talk about, women's rights. There's a women's rights abuse in the Muslim world. We need to empower women. We need to ensure that they're not being abused. Well, before you talk about women abuse and women's rights, look into your own history and look into the Western societies and the way they have dealt with women before you talk about how Islam have honored women and brought them into the most beautiful status they could be living in. Before you start attacking Muslims and use this as an avenue for you to destroy the moral principles and moral values of the Muslim Ummah, and before you deliberately work on taking off the hijab of the sisters, which represents their chastity and iffah and tahara and beauty, look into your own societies and how it has been destroyed by the going extreme in the opposite direction. Today, allow me to explore for the young sisters the story of two women that were introduced to us in the Quran. An adult woman and a young woman. The mother of Musa alayhi salam and the sister of Musa alayhi salam, who were living in a very dire and difficult circumstances when Bani Israel, the believers, the Muslims of Bani Israel, whom we identify with as Muslimin, because Musa alayhi salam is a prophet of Allah that we believe in, and he has a special connection with us as Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He's the one after all who have made the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the night of Isra and Mi'raj reduces the salawat from 50 to 5 salawat with the rewards of 50. He's the Prophet of Allah that we have connection with. He was born in a difficult time when Fir'aun la'natullahi alayhi كان يذبح أبناء بني إسرائيل ويستحيي نساءهم. And how ugly Fir'aun was, and how a dictatorship Fir'aun was, and how Fir'aun was denounced in the ayat of the Quran in the history of humanity. But you know what? Why are we insulting Fir'aun that much? Why are we denouncing Fir'aun that much? Because if you were to contrast between what Fir'aun have done to the believers of Bani Israel and contrast the Zionists of what they're doing to the children of Gaza and to the people of Gaza in general, you will find that Fir'aun is really a miskin. Fir'aun, after all, did not kill all the children of Bani Israel. He used to kill in 1 year the male children and allow them to live in the following year. And he never killed a girl or a woman from Bani Israel. And also, after all, he did not put Bani Israel in a concentration camp called Gaza and made them starve until death. He never did that. So why are we so outrageous with Fir'aun and so happy with Mr. President of the United States of America and what's so-called the President of the State of Israel? Why are we not putting things into the right perspective and calling things the right way and addressing the problem the right way? What Fir'aun have done is not what the leadership of the world right now is doing, is far more beyond what Fir'aun la'natullahi alayhi have done. Musa alayhi salam was born in the year in which it was deemed that all the male children of Bani Israel should be slaughtered. And the mother of Musa alayhi salam, this woman who we do not pay too much attention to her legacy as a woman who have raised a prophet, as a woman who have demonstrated the real understanding of believing in the mighty Allah Azza wa Jal, as a woman who have planted the real love among her own children. Allah Azza wa Jal narrates that story to us in Surah Al-Qasas and say, وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَىٰ أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي إِنَّ رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكِ وَجَعِلِهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. O mother of Musa, when you become anxious and so worried about your child because you know that the soldiers of Fir'aun la'natullahi alayhim will be coming soon to knock on your door, if you feel that way, then nurse your child, Musa alayhi salam, and put him in the